Hey guys, what's up? This is Panzer Dragon, and today we'll be doing the top 5 best supports for solo queue for patch 4.10. Recently, there hasn't been much changes to supports, except some support items, but that doesn't really matter right now, and my opinion on some champions have changed, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, so first up is Morgana. Alright, so what makes her so strong? Well, she does have really good poke with her Q, which also does lead to a hard engage, and really right now the supports who have hard CC are like the best supports. She also has a black shield that makes someone immune to CC. This means you can have a super fed Riven or someone in that genre and make them the super bruiser since they are immune to CC. And generally Morgana is really easy to use, so if you're noob like me at support champions, you can use her, and you'll just be as efficient as you were as any other support. Again, her pick potential is really good since her Q does last for 3 seconds. She's also really good at peeling since she does have black shield to make him immune from CC and can peel with ulti plus her Q. And some cons of her is that if you don't really land your Q in lane, you're not going to have that much presence in lane as you would if you were another champion. But if you do land a binding onto the enemy carry, it is very rewarding as you do have really good trade potential with your carry onto the enemy. Overall, she's a really good pick at the moment. Alright, so at number 4 we do have Nami. So Nami is becoming more popular and I can see why. I feel like her laning phase is pretty good. She's really good at trading because, you know, she has like her bubble and her heal to sustain those fights. And if you need a kill, you can just slow them down with her E. And if you are losing the lane, you can just sustain up with her W. And also another reason is why I think she's really good right now is because Yasuo is becoming a really popular pick at the moment. And so two of her abilities do help Yasuo as they are knockups. And so yeah, she has pretty good synergy with Yasuo. And her mid game, she has a pretty good presence in teamfights. I know her heals can be pretty impactful as they do heal for a pretty good amount. And her bubble, of course, is one of the best CCs since it is 1.5 seconds and it is AoE. And her ultimate is pretty similar to Zyra's ultimate, as people try and tend to avoid it as it is pretty impactful if you get hit by it, since it does knock you up and does slow you. So it is a pretty good counter engage. The only problem I find with Nami is that she can't really engage. She only has really good follow-up to initiations. Other than that, she's pretty good. And at number 3 we do have Thresh. Thresh, almighty Thresh, king of all the playground, has always been a top tier pick because he literally does everything. Like, you can consider Thresh having 6 skills because you can use Thresh's skills very differently in situations that no one else can do. For example, his Q. It can lock someone down, and if you want to be more aggressive with it, you can go to the position where the person you hooked was, and now the lantern. So if someone is in a sticky situation, you can lantern them out and now they aren't in a sticky situation anymore. And on the aggressive side, you can lantern someone in and then they can help you gank someone or something like that. And then you have Thresh's Flay. It can be used aggressively or passively depending on how you use it. If you are trying to engage on somebody, then you obviously flay someone towards your team. And if you're trying to peel for your carry and trying to disengage, then you just knock him back and tell him no, enough is enough. And then the same goes for his box. You can use it aggressively, trap someone in the box and they can't get out, or if you're trying to appeal for your team, then you can plant the box in somewhere where the enemy team has to run through so they can't keep going to your team. Oh, and to top it off, he is a range support whose autos do hurt, and he could be built pretty beefy if needed. The only con I see Thresh having is he doesn't really have this big AoE ultimate, and some of his stats were nerfed previously in the past. And at number 2 we do have Zyra. So I feel Zyra is really strong right now. I honestly feel like she's better than Thresh at the moment just because of what she can do. And in the lane, she just has so much damage. Like her combo, her skill shots, whatever, do pretty decent damage, but combined with the plants, they just create so much zoning potential. They do a lot of damage if the enemy stays around it. And just, yeah, she's like another threat in lane that you have to watch out for since she does do a lot of damage. And right here is the biggest thing. Her mid-game, team fighting, whatever you call it, he just provides a lot of damage and CC. Like, if anyone wants to engage your team, you can just put your ult down and all of a sudden they're going to get knocked up and it's perfect for your team to re-engage onto that. Like, I think the ultimate radius is really huge and it creates a lot of zoning onto the enemy team. And so if the enemy team really wants to engage onto Zyra, they're asking for a death wish. Even then, her utility is not her biggest strength. Her biggest strength is the damage she outputs. Like her plants, holy cow, they do so much damage if you stay around. And if she starts building somewhat AP or gets like the Leandries, she becomes her own threat and is like a carry support. She's a threat in team fights as well as other carries, and it's just another thing to deal with, which can be annoying. And if you focus her in team fights and just burst her down, she already got her Stranglethorn combo onto you, and her plants are probably still alive, so her job is done. And I honestly think that she's like one of the best supports for solo queue, since you can carry yourself sort of in team fights. And at number 1 is still Braum. So this guy is still OP. He has that 1.75 second stun. He has a free Alistair ult on his E, which is on a 2-second downtime and a 4-second uptime. He has a Q that can sort of soft engage and makes it really good peeling to us since it is a 70% slow. And he does have decent mobility with his W since he can just, jump to people. And his ultimate is pretty decent. It's like a Rumble ult combined with, I don't know, Malphite's ult. So yeah, he's pretty good, and of course he can just break damage with protecting his carries, but honestly it's not all about the utility that it brings. It's honestly the numbers on him, like the stun, 1.75 seconds, holy cow, that's a lot. The 40% damage reduction on a 4-second uptime and a 2-second downtime. His Q damage is actually pretty bursty, not gonna lie. It's on a 6-second cooldown and does, 240 damage plus some of his maximum health. And yeah, like his utility is not as much as someone like Thresh. It's just his numbers are so goddamn high and what makes him good right now. And that's probably why you just see him banned every game, because right now he's OP. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please check out my other tier list on the patch. Yes, the patch. And make sure to subscribe and comment below on whatever. I don't remember, but you have to subscribe. And thank you for watching. I gotta poop now, so I'll see you guys later.